Hello students, today we will discuss our last lecture on the ethers. So let's get started. So first one is the preparation of the ethers. So the first one is the by dehydration of the alcohols. Generally dehydration of alcohols at 443 Kelvin, it gives the alkene formation. But the at 413 Kelvin means at low temperature the formation of ether takes place. The mechanism of this reaction is that the formation of ether is a nucleophilic bimolecular reaction, that is the SN2, and SN2 reaction favors the primary alkyl group only. The alkyl group should be unhindered and temperature should be kept low. Otherwise the reaction favors the formation of the alkene. The reaction follows by the SN1 pathway when the alcohol is secondary or tertiary. So here you see that the primary alcohol is first protonated and then second molecule of the primary alcohol are attacked, the lone pair of the oxygen are attacked to the protonated alcohol and the water molecule is lost in second step, and in third step the proton the removal of the proton takes place and formation of ether takes place. Next one is the Williamson synthesis. So it is a very important laboratory method for the preparation of symmetrical and unsymmetrical ethers. In this method, an alkyl halide is allowed to react with sodium alkoxide. So ether containing substituted alkyl group, that is secondary and tertiary, also be prepared by this method. The reaction involves the SN2 attack of an alkoxide ion on the primary alkyl halides. But the better results are obtained if the alkyl halide is the primary. But in case of the secondary and tertiary, what happens? The elimination competes over the substitution takes place. And if the tertiary alkyl halide is used and alkene is the only reaction product and no ether is formed, because the alkoxide are not only the nucleophiles but the strong bases as well. They react with the alkyl halide leading to the elimination reaction. So here is you see the reaction, the general reaction, alkyl halide, then RONA, it formed the ether and NaX is removed. So here is the lone pair attack on the CH3 alkyl of the alkyl bromide, and sodium NaBr is removed. Okay, but in case of here you will see that in case of the tertiary alkyl halide, the 2-methyl propene and methyl alcohol is obtained. Next one is the physical properties. So the CO bond in ethers are polar and thus ethers have a net dipole moment. Okay. The weak polarity, due to the weak polarity, ethers do not affect their boiling point, and also they are very lower than the alcohols due to the reason that the alcohols show the hydrogen bonding in alcohol we see in earlier. Next is the chemical reactions. So first one is the cleavage of CO bond in the ethers. So ethers are the least reactive of the functional group. The cleavage of CO bond in ethers takes place under drastic condition with excess of the hydrogen halides. The reactions of dialkyl ethers use the two alkyl halide molecules. That is, here you see the reaction. This is the ether. When ether is reactive with the hydrogen halide, they form the alkyl halide and the alcohol. Okay. Then this alcohol is react with the other hydrogen halide and form the alkyl halide. Okay, and water is lost. Next one is the alkyl aryl ether. What about the alkyl aryl ether are cleaved at the alkyl oxygen bond. This bond is break in between the oxygen and R, because the these aryl and oxygen, this bond aryl and oxygen, this bond is very strong as compared to this bond. Okay, The reaction is phenol and alkyl halide. The reaction is phenol and alkyl halide. The order of the reactivity of hydrogen halide is HI, then HBr, and then HCl. The cleavage of the ethers takes place with concentrated HI or HBr at high temperatures only. Then the electrophilic substitution takes place. Why? Because the alkoxy group is the orthopara directing, and they activates the aromatic ring towards the electrophilic substitution. So here is the resonating structure. So you see that the negative sign comes at the ortho and the para position. Okay. So according to that, first one is the halogenation. So anisole undergo the bromination with bromine in ethanoic acid even in the absence of iron third bromide catalyst. It is due to the activation of benzene ring by the methoxy group. Para isomer and ortho isomer. The mixture of para and ortho isomer is obtained, and in that the para is the 90%. They show the 90% yield. Next is the Friedel-Crafts reaction. So again, anisole undergo the Friedel-Crafts reaction. That is the what is the Friedel-Crafts reaction? That is the alkyl and acyl group are introduced at ortho and para position by the reaction with alkyl halide and acyl halide in presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride. So here you see that the anisole is reacted with the methyl chloride in presence of anhydrous AlCl3. Anhydrous AlCl3 is acts as a Lewis acids, and 2-methoxytoluene and 4-methoxytoluene means orthopara product is obtained. And if instead of methyl chloride, if you use the acyl halide, then the acyl group is attached at the ortho and para position. Next one is the nitration. Anisole react with the mixture of concentrated sulfuric acid and nitric acid to yield the mixture of ortho and para nitroanisole. So here you see that this is the anisole, and they react with the nitrating mixture. You know the student, nitrating mixture gives always the nitro group, means NO2 group. So again OCH3 is the orthopara directing. That's why the NO2 group is attached to the ortho and para position, and we get the 2-nitroanisole and 4-nitroanisole. 4-nitroanisole is the major product because in 2-nitroanisole here is the steric hindrance takes place. That's why due to this reason this product we get in the minor portion. So thank you, and here we complete all full lesson of the alcohol, phenol and ethers. Regarding any queries about this chapter, please tell me and please contact with me. Thank you.